Testing 1, 2, 3. I think we're good to go. We are going live right now. YouTube. Right. Nicely done. Hey, Amanda, are you ready to have some fun? Hey, Impa. Welcome, welcome. Are you guys ready to share your screens?
Hi, Bailey.
Um,
I have a bit of a problem. So my Wi-Fi is down and I'm using my phone.
What?
Um,
Okay, so whose Upwork are we going to use to play this game? Impa, should we use your account? Are you on your computer? Who is on their computer so that we can play the game? It's a fun game. Nobody's gonna get hurt. Hi, Billy.
Hey, Bailey.
Are you able to share your screen? I know I'm throwing you under the bus, but I need help.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Molly. Can you take us to your Upwork?
Let me just open Upwork first and then I'll share my screen.
Awesome. Okay, so if you've just joined us, hey YouTube, how's it going? I actually want to change the quality of the camera. It's getting a little rache in here. That's wretched with a little bit of sass. I'm going to just quickly change the camera so that the video quality is not so, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the way the video looks. I seem a little bit washed out. I don't want it to be that way. So let's see if we can change our camera. Is it better? Is it better? Okay, I think we're okay. Um, I'm not mad at it. Let's just double check YouTube to see if it's okay. Here, I'll turn on my captions in a second because I remember yesterday someone had turned on the captions. Video looks okay. Let's let Israel in. Belly, let us know when you're ready to go. Captions are on. Perfect. Okay, so we are in English with subtitles. Bali, can you take us to this place here where it says manage finances? You're just gonna click on the, oh, it's like on the financial overview. And we're gonna have a little bit of fun. Are you using Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome? I
I'm
think you're
using
using
Chrome, Bailey.
Chrome.
Yeah, I am.
Nice. Excellent. Okay, let's have a look at this part here. Please click on financial overview. Let's just get this out of the way so that we can actually start to answer real questions. All right, so now that we're here, I would like you, Bali, to hover over this part right here. Hover over it with your mouse. Then what I'd like you to do is right click on it, and you're going to right click and click on the word inspect. So you don't highlight, you just hover over it. It's totally fine to highlight though, but just right click on it and you're gonna click on the word inspect. You see that there? We are gonna get this out of the way. From now on, no member of the squad is going to fall for this. All right, so we're gonna give it a minute. Do you see how it says this here? The number there. Do you see that?
Okay, what do I do, Bailey?
Okay, what I would like you to do is right click on what I've just highlighted for you right
Okay.
here.
Okay.
You're going to right click on it and you're going to click on edit text.
Done.
Okay. And now that you've clicked on edit text, how much do you feel? I want you to scroll just a little bit down so that you can see this that we just now clicked edit text on. So can you scroll just a little bit? Not a whole lot now. All right. A little bit down so that you see the dollar value again. Don't lose it this time. You got it. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Scrolling. Stop.
Oh,
Do you see it? The dollar
yes.
amount?
Yes. It is.
Perfect. There it is. And also the inspect element is going to show you what it is that you're working on. So
Oh.
let's say you want to work on a 15,000 Rand project. You're going to type in there right next to the dollar sign where this 0 is. Excellent. Yes, edit text. You're going to put in 15,000 because that's what we want. You're going to say $sign 15,000 because
Okay.
it will not know. And then you're going to press enter on your keyboard because why not? Boom. Do you see that?
Yes.
So to all the good people who look at these videos and these screen shares and these screenshots and all this nonsense that's happening on social media on the TikToks of these gurus that make me very upset, where they show you 15,000, 50,000, 10,000, 25,000. What are we going to tell them from now on when we see them with these hyperinflated numbers? And then just, I don't even know what. And then they try to hide this part of the screen. Like they will intentionally show the huge numbers. And then this part of the screen, as we say in South Africa, dollar. This part of the screen, they will not want to show you. They just want you to focus. Focus on this part. What do we say about that? Yeah, Alice is like liars. There it is. Now you see. Now you see it. Now you don't. And it could be 20,000. It could be 50,000. It could be whatever it is. All right. It's right click, inspect. And then when you inspect, right click, edit text. So from now on, if someone shows you this, and I'm only saying this because I'm going to show you screenshots too, and I want you to notice the difference between my screenshots and the ones that you're going to see from other people. I want you to, number one, ask for a video or screen recording of the screenshots that these people show you. Secondly, you want it to be mobile. There's an Upwork app and there's the Upwork website. The Upwork app does not allow you to right click, inspect element, and edit text. So from now on, this is not enough for someone to prove that they are getting 6 figures, 5 figures, whatever on Upwork, right? Because now you guys see that these numbers, the fake funk can be faked, right? The funk can be faked, excuse me. It's been a long day. So everybody is now in accordance. Amanda's like, wow. Yeah, 15,000. Okay, we have a few people who've just joined us. So let's run this again. Mbali, can you do us a favor and right click on this part that says in review? Now, how much would you like to be in review on your account? Does anybody
Let's
want to
say
give us a
half.
number in the chat?
Okay,
Let's say like
seven
that's the amount.
7,500.
Okay, 7.5K. We're going to right click on in review. And the other really cool thing that happens, because this is an actually active web page, it looks like when you hover over in review, it turns green. So it looks legit, right, guys?
Okay, what do
Any
I do
saw?
here, Lily?
Okay, you right click over the text, the actual 0,
Oh,
0,
the
0,
actual.
0. No, 0.00. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're going to
Oh, inspect again.
inspect. There you go. There you go, Inspector Gadget. And there's the amount. And you're gonna. and 7,500. Now, obviously, Upwork amounts, that's the other thing that these gurus will make sure to do, is that the amount will look like this instead of what we have on our screen. But we are very obviously demonstrating that they're just faking the funk. But the numbers will look like that. Do you see that? So work in progress is 15K, in review is 7.5, pending is maybe 5K, available is maybe 2.5. Am I right? And then they make a point, they like make it a point that this part here, they're going to hide it. They don't want you to see that information. And when you say, well, I will see the report, they'll say, oh, no, it's classified. These are my clients. I can't, if you're going to show it, you better show it all, right? So from now on, you're going to say to them, let me see a video. I want you to animate your screen. I don't want to see a screenshot. Show me the video. Secondly, let's see mobile. I want to see it on the Upwork app. I don't want to see your web browser. And if they can't answer those questions, go and do an Upwork search for the guru themselves. Majority of the people who show these crazy numbers, and I'm not calling anybody out, I'm not going to bother doing that. You guys will see lots of them on social media. Majority of these people, when you go to their actual profile, they haven't even crossed the 100K mark. And it's like, what's going on here, people? Right? So what are we doing from now on, Amanda? Anytime you see someone sharing screenshots that look like this, what are we doing?
Run. We ask for videos and we ask for a full page. No, an app shot screenshot. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's like, run. Absolutely, I'm running. You definitely show me the video, like take a screen recording of this. I want to see it on your phone as a screen recording. On Upwork, click on things, take me there. I don't want you to give me a screenshot. I want to see a screen recording of this income, number one. Number two, I would like you to show it to me on mobile. I don't want to see it on your desktop. I want you to take me to the Upwork app, take me to the reports. Then let's see week by week, how are we doing? The reality is a $1,000 week is made through a series of $100 days, right? So a $10,000 month is made through a series of thousands of dollar weeks. It's not going to look like this. It's not going to be, I don't know how to, like, this is unreal. I don't like the word unrealistic. Do you see how I'm struggling to even say it? It is realistic. It can happen, but it's not going to happen the way that the people on social media are presenting it. It is possible. You have to understand clients' buyer psychology. You have to understand neuromarketing, positioning, messaging, customer relationship management. There are many departments that make a freelancer successful. And when I say departments, I don't mean like outside of you. I mean, you as a freelancer, you have to be aware of various departments that will make you successful. So when you see numbers like this, don't immediately be like, oh, stars in your eyes, because that is how these people take you for all you're worth. And what you end up with is a $12 Udemy course being sold to you for hundreds more. And that is not what we want to happen. Okay, so we've looked at this and how they're able to show crazy amounts of money. Does anybody have any questions or comments about what you guys just seen now on the screen? Welcome, Vasi. Welcome, G. Wish I knew your full name, G. Bali, what about what you've just seen? What you've just done? You did the magic. What do you think?
We've seen a lot of scams online.
But you know what this is good for?
Lies. Yeah,
but this is good for like if you want a liberty, if you want to Some people call it manifesting, but in the Bible, we call it writing it down and making it plain. If you want to do this for yourself, where you're like, I want to have a week where work in progress is 15K, and this, that is the third, then you're able to take these screenshots and then you're able to put them up on your wall as something that maybe is a goal, something that you're reaching towards, because there's something called the reticular articulation system. Hope I said that correctly, in neuroscience. And it means that if you expose your brain to certain phenomena and you say to yourself, like you write it down and make it plain, I want this, your brain is going to do whatever it can to get you that. Or in another way of putting it, have you ever gone to a dealership and you said, man, I want to drive an Audi Q3? Suddenly, all you see on the road are Audi Q3s, right? That is your RAS system working to get you that much closer to what it is that you want. So the only way that I see myself using something like this in my life is if I go and I edit this and I put it up on my wall as kind of inspiration for myself. Like, what can I do so that my work in progress for the week is $15,000? What can I do that my in review is $7,500? But you have to be really careful with what's going on out there. All right, so today is day 2 of the squad preview. We managed to answer the question nicely here about how gurus make these crazy numbers, don't curse, show up on the screen. Let's just quickly check with YouTube if YouTube has any questions for us. Got quite a few people coming through now today, which is fun. Do you guys have any questions? Hey, Liberty, if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to post them in the chat. Bali, thanks again for being such a good sport and sharing your screen. If not, if you're a member of the paid squad, you already know, hey, Rosie joined while driving. So since I've been doing a budget on my salary every month, it's unbelievable what you just said. So I shall continue. Very good. Very good. Hi, nice to see you, Azuzile. Okay. Usually people switch off their webcams when I say that, so that just makes me sad, but nice to see you if you stick around. Nice to see you. What we're going to do, because this is a squad session, it's a preview for those of you who are not in the paid squad, but for those of you who are members of the squad, let's do a quick squad recap. So what we managed to get done today, I'm very excited to talk about, is basically how to raise your rate. I noticed inside the paid squad that there was an element that was missing. We're all doing really well now. We're on the module that's like get more money, right? And we all know our Upwork math. We all know what we have to do to get clients. We all know our stats. We all know our patterns and our numbers. But the thing that is absolutely missing is, how do I get this client that says they love everything that I present to pay me more money? Or how do I get paid what I'm worth? And so what we did to bridge that gap between your value that you feel intrinsically that you have versus the value that your client maybe perceives you have. How do we bridge that gap so that you can get paid what it is that you actually do want to get paid? So my question to you is, if you have a client that you are doing exceptionally well with, you have a good relationship with them, how do you broach the subject of I want to get paid more? Feel free to pop it in the chat or unmute your mic. Hello, I'm seeing a lot of new faces. Welcome to the preview of the paid squad. So to those of you who are new, thanks for raising your hand, Alice. I'll get to you in a second. Those of you who are new, the paid squad is basically what I love to call a freelance to entrepreneurship incubator. But basically, if you want to know more about what the paid squad is, I would invite you to go to the following website and have a mosey on around and see if it looks like something that maybe you'd be into. It is basically us starting to make money from nothing using a platform called Upwork. So you go on Upwork, put in all your information, talk about what your niche is, add in your qualifications and all of that good stuff. And then you go ahead and you start to look for projects that are in line with what it is that you're qualified for. And by the way, there's no such thing as like being qualified. The reality is you pick and choose. If you've just joined us, please go ahead and mute your microphone so that we don't have any distractions. All right, so we've got a hand raised from Alice. Alice and Amanda, do you have any questions before I carry on? And I have a question from Bali as well.
No question on my end. Sorry, it was by mistake.
Oh, that's okay. Yes, Amanda, what's your question?
It's not a question, but it was you asked the question, so I wanted to answer. I think
Nice.
to get the client to pay you more, like if I was doing email copywriting, I could offer more services. I don't know.
Okay, so if the client hired you for email copywriting, right?
Mhm.
And you want to get paid more, you are saying that you are going to do even more. Are you going to do even more for the same pay, or are you going to do even more after they pay you more?
It would have to be after they pay me more.
Right. So how do we get them to pay you more?
I don't know. Maybe maybe
Close.
hey, this is something I've seen a lot online while I was doing my research, where a copywriter would be like, okay, let me do this, and then they do maybe like a first copy, like a landing page or something, and then after that, after getting conversions, maybe then you can go back to the negotiation table and be like, hey, these are the conversions. I promised you this, but then I was able to over deliver. So I think, or actually, I want more. I don't think I want more.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it in a very like simplistic way of putting it. What I need you to do from now on, and I do this, it's something that I do over R1,000,000 later. Yes, over R1,000,000 later. It's so weird, close to 3,000,000 Rand later. What I do is I have this book. I collect notebooks, by the way. This is just a trade union notebook. And I keep inside it, it's really cool. It has a calendar and all those things. And I keep notes inside it of stats, numbers, changes, progress, things that results I've been able to get for clients. And so if I'm talking to a particular client and I know, okay, today is Tuesday, we managed to accomplish this and this and this, I'm able to go to that client in a few weeks' time, not even months, in a few weeks' time. Hey, remember that this was the rate and this was the agreement that you and I had. I managed to over deliver, as Amanda said, or I managed to bypass or go way further than what it was that you had initially set as a benchmark for us. So there's two ways for you to benefit here. You can get a monetary compensation. You can get more money. What it is that obviously the client hired you for can say, you know what, instead of hiring me for 25, what do you say about $30 with the added bonus of me doing this, whatever it is, more often? Alternatively, it could be if the client says to you, yeah, sorry about that, Amanda, I don't have $35 or $30 an hour to give you. You can say, that's totally fine. Why don't you send me about 5 referrals by Wednesday or 5 referrals by Friday this week? And then don't worry about me having to convert them. It would be my pleasure for me to figure out how to get these clients to pay me more on my own. Wouldn't that be easier? And that is like the secret to not negotiating against yourself necessarily. So that was the main thing, and some because it's the squad, so we go a little extra, and then some extra stuff that we did talk about, myself and Alice. This is really a Q&A session. I wanted to show you guys how gurus make those numbers appear on the screen and also give you the opportunity to ask me any questions whatsoever that you may have about the squad. And I see a question in the chat. Mbali says, do you write a negotiation letter, make the client see your potential, effort, and worth? Even better than writing a negotiation letter, Mbali, what you do is you schedule a negotiation call, but you don't call it that, no pressure. You just schedule a regular call with them. And on that call, you're going to say, hey, we're going to do a catch-up call, right? Or a sync call. And in the sync call, they're going to tell you about this financial quarter's goals. It's something that you would do every 3 months. They would tell you the goals that they want to reach. And then you will obviously have the metrics and the stats and the data from the previous conversation that you had with them. Then your job in that call is to note what is in the ambit of your control. And you're going to note all of those things that you're going to work your darndest to make happen. Come back to that status meeting and say, even though you had not asked me to do XYZ, here's the value I was able to get for you. Here are some new skills that I've acquired as well on top of that for this project that I just took on. And I made you, from what I can quantify and based on fair market rates, managed to make you this much. And so I'm pretty sure the client will be like, oh, okay, I never realized Mbali came to this prepared in such and such a way. And then the client will most likely want to negotiate. If you say for $50 per hour, they might look at you and be like, listen, I ain't got it. But what I can do is help you out with a client that could potentially come on board for $50 an hour. Amanda says, besides the notebook, how do you organize your data to be able to review? The notebook is just there because I like to do things analog, but I take things from analog, you should know by now, from analog to digital. So fun fact, just as long as your penmanship is not completely terrible, ChatGPT can read your handwriting. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. So you can write something, take a picture of it, and give it to AI, and then fun thing will happen. AI will read it. You can take it. I like to use ClickUp, but you can use Notion. You can use there's so many others. You can use a spreadsheet. You can use anything that gives you a table. That way you can tabularize all the results and the metrics that you've gotten and also turn them into graphs. That way you can take that and turn that into a report. And you can take that report with you to the meeting so you can share over the course of time how much money, how much time you've saved the client, or how much money you've saved the client, or how much more money you've made for the client. Some things are difficult to quantify, like peace of mind, like how many cyber attacks you've staved off. So you can get really creative with it. Maybe how many cups of coffee have saved you from staying up and doing all the work yourself. That's still something that you can kind of quantify. Does that answer your question, Amanda, about besides the notebook? But yeah, you can write things down and then at the end of the workday, capture them with your phone and upload them to ChatGPT, who will then digitize everything nicely for you so that you can take that information and put it either in a spreadsheet or some kind of table in a way where you can have that data at the ready. Amanda says, yes, thank you. Excellent. Any other questions? I never get any time management questions.
Okay. So Bailey, when do you start with the negotiation?
Negotiating.
Do you have
is
like a
always
time
happening.
frame that after a year, then
Too
you
late.
start?
Too late.
Oh,
Too late.
oh.
Okay, so when you're working with clients in psychology, there's something called anchoring, right? So when you give them a number, they will be anchored at that number forever. So what you want to do is you want to re-anchor them psychologically at a new number in the middle of us having a good time. It's kind of like this. If I'm on a date with someone, they're not really my type, but okay, I'm gonna give them a chance. They have multiple micro opportunities during the day to do something to change my mind, right? So what you want to do is when the client their guard is down the most because they're the most happy with the results that you're producing, they're most happy with the work that you're producing, that is the point at which is the time for you to say, let's have a conversation, let's redefine this relationship. Where are we going? How is this relationship working? That kind of thing. That conversation mostly works when there's dopamine involved, when they're happy, when they're getting the result that they want from this working relationship. So I like to have this conversation between weekly and even monthly. Depends again on the metrics that you're tracking. If you're doing an email marketing campaign, I'm sure it would be quite difficult to have this conversation every week. Maybe you can set the benchmarks in another way. So it really does depend, not to give you a lazy answer, but it does depend on the type of work you're doing. However, I try to have the conversation at least on a weekly basis in order for the client to just remember it could be worse, right? Remember your life before you met me. And now that we're working together, this is where we are. Let's keep it that way. That was a good question, Mavi. Any other questions? All right, we are making good time. If that's all, you guys, the squad and I are gonna skedaddle on down to our next paid squad session. So this is again, once a week we can do this, have this conversation. To the members of the paid squad, do you guys have any questions? And if you're not sure what the paid squad is, it is an Upwork freelancing incubator membership. It's not a course. It has a course. There's in fact multiple courses where you can go from no figures to 5 figures. And when I say no figures to 5 figures, I'm speaking in US dollars and not just in South African rands. We have people in here in this community right now in this call who have made thousands of dollars on Upwork, not just myself, other people. So if you have a question to ask about what is an Upwork, you can Google Upwork. This is not a Forex get rich quick scheme. I don't do that. All my numbers are quantifiable. You can go and you can double check on your own. And I do not purport to represent Upwork, its proprietors or its investors. So that's another thing that I want you guys to know. This is not one of those weird culty things. It's an opportunity for you to really genuinely upskill if you want to. So yeah, definitely check out the website if you want to see it. Visit the paid squad at paid.bunison.co. I'll pop the link in the chat one more time. That's about it. Any other questions before I let you guys go? We'll be back again, same time next week, Monday, with probably more information and me answering an actual question instead of us sitting in this room. So if you want to hop off, feel free. If you have any more questions, let me know. All right, so the kid wanted to sing to us. All right, everyone, have a great evening. If you're a member of the squad, feel free to stay behind so that we can have a conversation. But everyone else, thank you so much for joining us and having a look at how we can make over $1,000 in less than, what was that, 5 minutes? Mbali, what was that, 5 minutes or 10 minutes? I don't know.
It was in it was in few seconds. It was not in 5 minutes.
It was a few seconds, yeah. I know it sucks. I know when you see those numbers, it's like, oh, when will I ever get there? But you will get there, and you're not going to get there by scamming people. Like, it's just not going to work that way. Like, it does not work that way. Business doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. And the thing is, it has to be done in a sustainable way that is replicable. Every single week, you want to make a certain amount of money. Or if you have a project or you land a client, you want to know for sure that this is what I did to get this client to say, I'm opting in from $200 to $1,200. And here's how you're going to deliver value for your client. So it would be nice if there were clients willing to give you $15,000 in 5 minutes, but it's just not realistic, really. And I don't use that word very often. Um, let's have a look. Is it just members of the squad in here now? All right, guys, you guys have been quiet enough. Do you guys have any questions relating to the squad now?
Now, I have a question. So, I don't
Yes.
know. I thought of asking during one-on-one. So, maybe I
Okay,
should
you
just
can,
ask
you can.
now.
Are you
No,
sure
no,
you don't
it's
want to
not-
ask a
it's not-
question during 101?
I'll ask it here. My one-on-one should have a lot of time. So the question is this. Now, if you have a project you are working on, let's say you see a proposal and